All right, Shalom. First, I'd like to start by saying all praise to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Now, this is just a little clip on Alan Watt. You know, Alan Watt always bringing out some good information. So I'm gonna just play the clip. You know, keep it simple for the lack of time. So.
How do you get a domesticated herd to move from a field, a system in which it's been grazing for 20, 50 years, this kind of system, to this field over here, this new field, because we have reluctance to change. We like familiarity, we like routine, you see. You do it by various techniques, one of which is revolution. Most revolutions are bloodless. You have cultural revolutions, sexual revolutions. Along with that comes the music revolutions, etc. These literally are designed to alter and direct culture, knowing what kind of culture they'll have at the very end of it too.
That's why a good thing to watch to figure out the cultures and the revolutions that they have had would be on Netflix. The Roaring 20s, 30s, you know, I think they got 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and it breaks down the history of America and everything that they was broadcasting, casting spell on, or putting people up into that hypnotic state. It actually shows you everything that was going on during them times, so you can actually pick up on the spirits of these people, you know, through the spirit of Yahweh Shai, discern, you know, what you're dealing with in the times that we living in, man, because everything is getting wickeder and wilder, and you don't want to get caught up in none of this, man. Let's see. Man, my phone don't want to fucking work. Second Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Second Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Because ultimately, the Lord using Satan, this white man, to push out this stuff, man. And through the scriptures, we know how to filter and discern on what's going on, man. This Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it. And elites practicing this stuff, man. And he breaking it down to you, you know. Because it is in the power of their hand. They had the money to do this stuff, man. They made the TVs. They made the radios. They did the theater wars. You know, they changed the times, the seasons, and the laws to fit a way of life, you know, that they wanted the people to follow, to keep them blinded from the truth, because that's the ultimate goal. That was the ultimate goal, but it was still of Yahweh Shema Shai. This is Isaiah chapter 29, verse 9. Stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. For the Lord Yahweh hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and have closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, hath he covered right. So the Lord blinded the people and got them into these philosophies and following the way of life that these elites put out here, man. So, we ain't got to really worry about them. We just got to get ourselves straight. For the Lord Yahweh hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and have closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, hath he covered, and the vision of all is become unto you as of the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, which a man who went to college, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it's sealed. And that's talking about the Bible. Only the elect gonna get the mysteries of this book, man. And only the elect gonna get the understanding on this witchcraft that he's breaking down, that they using against the people. And the book is delivered to him that is not learned, a man who didn't go to college, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I am not learned. Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth, saying thank you, Lord, and they believe and all this extra stuff, and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart, which is their mind, far from me, and their feet and their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men. Right? These fake pastors, phony teachers and shit, trying to teach the Lord's people, the Israelites, how to fear the Lord, but they saying the law done away with. That's the fear. The knowledge of the scriptures on knowing who you are. That's the fear. Knowing where you came from, knowing reincarnation, knowing your forefathers, going to search for your fathers, preparing for him to come. So
they know exactly what kind of culture they want to come out of it. You also can do it through crisis creation. Crisis after crisis has been hit on the people of the world since 9/11 happened. And we must understand that the techniques that are used abroad are also used at home in warfare. And we heard the term shock and awe. Shock and awe on the hard force level, as they call it, is bombs, all kinds of acoustic equipment to nullify enemies, scare the hell out of them through voice to skull and so on, which was used in Gulf War I, and it's all over the British media. But you can also use shock and awe on your domestic people.
I think they used that during the Twin Towers also, if I'm not mistaken.
Again, you do it by crisis after crisis until the public are so terrified. See, the average person has a sort of confidence that they build up where they think I can manage most things that come my way. Whatever little crisis in my life, what happens to other people, I can deal with. When all those around you are getting scared at the same time as you because they're losing their jobs, they've been threatened with pandemics, terrorists everywhere, terrifying people to even get on subways, and so on. And all those around you, as I say, are also in the same boat. You tend to be more easily directed by the powers that be to come out and speak with authority and confidence over you. That's why they give you a guy like Obama, who's trained in oratory. He was trained in oratory, not in truth, but in oratory, the technique of persuasion. Shock and awe, as I say, is a technique of making a person and a whole population punch drunk. And each one of those fears, you understand, the average person can handle one major crisis in their personal life, maybe two at the same time. It's understood in psychology and many studies that if you have maybe 3 to 4 crises hitting you personally in your life at the same time, you will literally go into an incredible depression, a reactive depression you can't cope. That's understood. Apply that technique on a whole population, The thing is, there's not one of these crises that we're being told about that you personally can do anything about. What can you do about terrorism if it really exists all over the place? It's out of your hands, you're helpless. What can you do about a coming pandemic? It's out of your hands, you're helpless. What can you do about a nuke getting set off in New York Harbor or wherever? You can't, you're helpless. The message you're getting is that you're utterly helpless to defend, help, or save yourself. That is complete shock and awe tactic that's been used not only in the US and Canada, but across the world. Same strategy, because we're already global with the global society running us all. Massive psychology and warfare techniques in psychology has been used across the planet to make us succumb to fear and crises, as I say, and none of which we can actually do anything about on an individual level. Therefore, the leaders are presented to us on screen with uniforms or business suits and ties as politicians who speak with confidence, all scripted, of course, and they seem to have everything under control. You're now basically a fearful slave looking up to the powerful master to defend and protect you. That's the simple technique of it.
And with that being said, all praise to Yahweh Shema Shai, double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that stood in truth and sincerity. Shalom.